Since the U.S. called off trade talks with Canada, has Mr. Trump returned your calls, texts, or accepted your apology over the Ontario ad?
My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. Tonight, Mark Carney tells us that he's too busy making deals to deal with Donald Trump. Gun charges are dropped against Khalistani extremists, and a liberal gun buyback is to go national after Nova Scotia pilot. What is going on, brother?
What's happening? The gun charge drop, is that the Yahoos that were shooting out in cottage country there?
No. It is not. Those are different people.
Different Khalistani gun nuts.
Different people. But funny enough, I wanted to bring that back. So thanks for stealing some of my thunder, asshole. Good job. Good job.
That's what I do. That's what I do. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
No, that's fucking funny. That is hilarious. So, let's start right there. I'll say hi to all the people in the comment section. And yes, Pam, I agree. Let's start with this one. Pam is saying that maybe Rob is a bit what?
Optimistic?
I've never heard that expression before. What does that mean?
Is that a typo, or is that a thing?
No, knowing Pam, it's not a typo. She's probably calling you gay. To me, that's all it means. It means gay.
There's a word. It's a person who's habitually late. A person who's habitually late because they believe they have more time than they actually do. Yeah, actually, that actually works. That fits. That's a good word.
Zing zing.
Yeah, up until now, people just call me thoughtless and inconsiderate. So I'll go like, no, I'm a tight optimist.
I will say you're just an irresponsible homo.
Yeah. What's anything to do with being late? Homos are often
selfless homo. No, they're not, because they take their time. They take their time, just like women are often late.
Yeah.
But my experience is very limited with the homos, so I will take your word for it. I will trust your experience.
Please. When you say my experience is limited, you mean limited to weekends?
It's limited. I'm French. It's not gay. We're just French.
Exactly right.
It's not the same. We've been through this. We have been through this many times. Plus, it's only gay if you make eye contact. Get your facts straight.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
We've been through this. It's unfortunate that I need to repeat myself, but here we are. So let's start with the first video. As you saw, Mark Carney is being smug as shit, as always. You want to smack him in that video, talking about Trump again. Well,
yes. Who cares?
Who cares? But it looks like he actually does care, because you'll see what just came out not too long before I finished for the show. And we'll also hear what Pierre Poilievre had to say about it. But let's start with the great himself, Mark Carney. Oh, it's muted. He's better when he's muted, but the whole point's to play the video, right? By the way, why is it always muting the video? Screw you, Facebook. Let's do that again.
You got it?
Yes, I do. Why does it mute? Every time I press play, it mutes it. It knows we should not be playing Mark Carney. Sorry, Facebook. That's the whole point.
Called off trade talks with Canada. Has Mr. Trump returned your calls, texts, or accepted your apology over the Ontario ad?
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment. We have launched new trade agreements. We've secured new investment in the country.
The trade agreements with us in the room here, Mark?
Arguably before. So we're busy.
But listen to this. Listen to that
we have launched that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of A budget. This
Right
is
here.
another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment. We have launched new trade agreements. We've secured new investment in the country of a size not seen arguably before. So we're busy. He's got other things to do, and we'll re-engage when it's appropriate.
What
So
was the
there's
question that was asked
Carney.
again? It was about trade deals, right? Or
It was
a trade deal with
about
the United States.
have you spoken to Donald Trump? Are you guys dealing on something? Like, can we have an update, please? Because Canadians
tell by his
are
body
fucking
language
wondering.
And the way that he responds to those questions about the trade deal with the U.S., that nothing's cooking, and basically Trump probably just told him to go pound sand. He's not talking to him.
I love that expression.
Basically.
Go pound sand.
Yeah, go pound sand. But yeah, no.
But before, hold on.
Go ahead.
Before you go, listen to this. Before you go, because I got another one. Because, I was saying, I was very curious to see the mental gymnastics that the left would have to make in order to still condone what he's doing. Well, this is what the left is posting, saying that Mark Carney is a great leader, and we are lucky to have him. He is one of the greatest leaders on the world stage. And this is the video that they're talking about.
Nations, middle powers like Canada, have benefited from a rules-based multilateral trading system and an open global financial order. Our geography gave us privileged access to the world's largest economy and distanced us from many of the world's threats. Nous vivons pas une transition, mais une rupture. Et dans chaque rupture réside la responsabilité de bâtir un nouveau départ. In the face of change, Canada's new government is making generational investments at home and building deeper partnerships abroad. Dans cette nouvelle ère, le leadership du Canada sera défini non seulement par la force de nos valeurs, mais aussi par la valeur de notre force.
So I don't know what he was trying to say there, because he's making it sound like we are connected to the biggest economy in the world. And it turns out that we are. So seems that Rob is not only late, like always, but he is having camera problems. But it's okay. It's okay. We will address this with you guys. So basically we have Mark Carney telling us that we're sharing the biggest we're sharing the biggest border between two countries, and it turns out that it's the US, the place that has the biggest economic the biggest economic buying power, and we get to be connected directly to them, and yet somehow this video I just showed, whatever the hell he was saying, is sold as the reason why Mark Carney is great. And he's the one that posted that, saying, in the face of profound global change, we're building Canada strong. So I did a boatload of research today, and Mark Carney in the first video is bragging about how he's signing new deals, right? He's signing new deals all over the place. He's fucking, printing money for us. Well, turns out that he's actually full of shit. You know what he signed for? He's been traveling the world for 8 months now. 8 months of world traveling, and he signed deals with Indonesia, with the Republic of Korea, and Chile. And do you know how much they're worth over the next 10 years? Not per year, but over the next 10 years, $6 billion. And before people start hitting me with the UAE deal that he's supposed to have signed for $70 billion, there's no deal signed. They're just agreements to say that it's a framework to say that we will do business together, but no business has been made yet or has been built. But do you know how much our trade agreement with the US is worth a year? Do you know the number, Rob? Because I'm always talking about the exports, right? How much exports they buy from us it's between $590 and $600 billion. But do you know how much the USMCA is worth for Canada and the US every year? No? Yes? No? Uh-oh. Can you not hear me,
I
Mr.
think, I don't know
Robbie?
if my internet connection is spotty. I didn't hear your last question.
I was asking you, how much do you think that the
Yeah,
trade
am gonna
agreement
have
with
to,
the U.S. Can you guys hear me? Actually, just correct. Just let me know in the comment
Hang
if you guys can hear me, or is it Rob that's lagging? Because it seems that right now we are having issues. So is my connection working? Can you guys hear me, or is it Rob that is lagging? You hear me? Awesome. You can see me? Awesome. So it's Rob that's thinking, and as a liberal, I guess it's very hard. It's hard thinking. He's in deep thought. So out of curiosity for the people listening to this, for all the listeners, how much is our trade agreement, the USMCA, worth with the US? Throw me a number, because I'm always talking about the exports, how much we export to the US, which is around $592 billion. At least it was in 2024. But how much is our trade agreement? I'm curious. You guys throw a number out there. Tell me how much our trade agreement with the US is worth, because it is absolutely insane how much money it's worth. So any guess? Anybody? Give me a guess. How much is our trade agreement worth before I give you the answer? Trevor Benson, you're saying 600 billion plus a year. That's just our exports. That is just the money that they pay us. Pam is saying 371 billion. Not even close. 879. Not even close. And ding, 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 ding. Stu with the comment, $1 trillion. The USMCA trade agreement between Canada and the US is worth between 1.1 and 1.2 trillion dollars a year. And over 8 months of traveling and all the bragging in the world, Mark Carney is proud of having secured $6 billion over the next 10 years. That is what 8 months of a great negotiator has brought us. It's I don't even know what to say to this. It's a lot of zeros.
Video, he's like, we've secured great
6 billion
deals.
6 billion.
And I'm like, are the trade deals in the room with us here, Mark?
Nope. No, they're not. They don't exist. They're not there.
He really has not been signing a lot of trade deals.
He signed deals with Indonesia, Korea, and Chile for a staggering $6 billion fucking dollars. And the biggest deal he is bragging about is 70 billions with the UAE, but no deals have been made. They just made a deal to eventually make a deal. They negotiated a framework that hasn't been even approved. So the framework for the deal that he would eventually make has not even been secured, and he's already bragging like, ooh, I signed between 70 and 80 billion dollars. Even if you did, motherfucker, 1.1 trillion dollars a year, because those numbers I'm giving you, the 6 billion and the potential 70 billion, is over 10 years. So he's nowhere close, but yet he's bragging about that like he's doing the best thing, like he's doing us a favor, because he's saying that he will double our exports to the world. That's 25% of our exports. So even if he did, that would be 50%.
Yeah, so he'll double that while
shitting $1.1 trillion down the toilet. Sure. Here is
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's and somehow the liberals are defending this. All the ministers are posting, ooh, we are securing deals after deals. Yeah, no, you're not. You signed 3 deals since April. 3! And that guy's a great negotiator. Get the fuck out of here. Here is we'll listen to this just because we can. Here is what Mr. Pierre Poilievre had to say about this.
Since he took office, not only has he failed to get the promised deal, but American tariffs on aluminum, autos, and steel have doubled. on forestry communities, they have tripled. The Prime Minister says, who cares? All of us on this side of the House care about the communities that are being emptied out in our forestry, the steel workers in Hamilton who don't have jobs to pay their mortgages. We care about those people. Why doesn't he?
It's funny. Did you notice he never really uses numbers? I don't know if it's too hard to remember. Because imagine instead of saying that, he would say, Mark Carney has secured $6 billion of investment over the next 10 years while traveling for 8 months. Yet he could have simply gone to Washington every single fucking day to make sure that we secure $1.1 to $1.2 trillion of business with the US, the biggest economy in the world, our biggest ally. Done, mic drop, we're done, go back home.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. You know, you like if we didn't have this sort of trading relationship with the United States, we would be desperately trying to get it, right? So now that we have it, why keep it? Why not spend some energy to keep it? Spend some effort, put some effort into keeping it.
Every single country on the planet would drool. A $1.1 trillion deal with the biggest economy in the world, and you're sharing the biggest border between two countries in the world. We have all the advantages, and yet we're not taking advantage of it. But you know what's breaking news, and that is absolutely hilarious, is that about 2 hours ago, this was published on CTV News, and turns out that Carney is considering trip to Washington after dismissing question about his last contact with Trump. Less than 48 hours after the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, dismissed a question about when he had last spoken with the U.S., President Donald Trump, a federal government source has confirmed to CTV News that he is considering a trip to Washington next week. So, man, how much more retarded can that guy be? He acts tough. He plays the big game like he has a big swinging dick. No leverage, no nothing, says the dumbest shit. And then, you know, the little dog that has his tail between its legs and it's coming back home after doing something really stupid. There you go. That's Mark Carney. Yet the liberals are still defending this guy. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for them to wake up. It's absolutely insane.
I mean, yeah, like he clearly he's going to get some benefit of the doubt from liberals for sure. But at some point, you got to start. You actually have to hold account for things. He's going to get 6 months or 7 months or even 12 months maybe without doing anything, because despite what he said, about being super busy, and he hasn't really done anything, right? He hasn't. There's no deals that he signed. No significant deals.
No.
What is he bills? So these multiple, there's a couple bills that are in varying stages of being passed, and they're all related to nonsense, hate speech and quote unquote hate speech. They're all basically authoritarian anti-free speech bills. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. At some point, you'd hope that liberals would start asking questions, hold him accountable. Why hasn't this guy done anything? But we'll see.
It seems
I thought Polyev was, that was a decent criticism. Basically, what we were talking about yesterday. Again, the who cares thing. Polyev seemed to latch on to that.
Yeah, but at the same time, he had the power to take down this government, chose not to. So I'm more showing what Polyev has to say about it as just comical relief, because to me, it's just he's a clown. He likes to talk, but he doesn't do much. So it is what it is, right? We are, as much as I believe that this is bread and circuses, I always keep in mind what Denzel Washington said years ago. If you don't listen to the news, you're uninformed. If you do listen to the news, you're misinformed. So I try to listen to the news and do a shit ton of research. But hey, we're just looking stupid. as Canadian, we are looking so stupid. I have to reach out to some of my American friends to see what they're being told. Like, do they follow what's going on to see how ridiculous we are, or did they just stop? Like, just, you know what? I think we're done. I think we're just done, and Canada's screwed. We're just gonna stop listening to whatever comes
Well, I
out.
mean, I don't like. I don't think Canada's any more ridiculous than any Western country right now. They're all ridiculous. I think this is the norm. There's a whole lot of just put in the wrong direction all across the West right now. And I think if you're the type to follow, I mean, I don't think too many Americans follow foreign politics anyway, certainly not Canadian politics. But if you do, you're probably wondering why the fuck the entire West is going in the wrong direction.
And they're all aligned, right? It really just looks like all
issues
the West.
like immigration.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's take some of the comments. Did you see some comments that you wanted to take in there that unless they're even the ones that are making fun of you? 'Cause those are always good too.
Yeah, there was a couple there. Yeah, I know. I know I'm a little bit lagging tonight. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my internet, but
We definitely need to take
one.
Stu.
Stu Thompson, $5 tip. Thank you, sir. He says, "Who cares? We're busy. Fuck you, laid off workers." Basically, obviously, mimicking Carney. Yeah, that's not a good look. It seems like a lot of people really latched onto that. We talked about it a lot in the show yesterday. Polyev is talking about it, but a lot of people are saying, of course we care. Like, that's what an arrogant way to address a comment or to respond to a comment that people are curious about.
All done on purpose.
Pam says Mexico has now more trade than us. Is that with the U.S.? Mexico trades more with the U.S. than we do. Is that?
I'm gonna check.
Is that what Pam means here? Yeah, that can't be right. Can it? That would be crazy.
I'm gonna ask. Hold on. I'm gonna check how much. Take another comment if you want. I will.
Yeah.
I will check how much it's worth. Actually,
Claire.
935. So on our side, it was worth something like over $1.1 trillion. In Mexico, the U.S. goods and services trade with Mexico in 2024 was worth an estimated $335 billion. So considering the natural resources that we have, we're just 1.7 billion. We're just a few billion over Mexico. Like, what the fuck do they export to the U.S. like drugs and shit? Like,
that's crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because I don't think drugs are factored in there. I don't think they're even counting the drugs. Claire Robitaille says Carney didn't want to negotiate with Trump. It was elbows up. Yeah, exactly right. That's and I think there's valid criticism of that. That's where the criticism lies with that strategy. Because I mean, I'm even willing to give him probably more grace than you are or some of the viewers here. If you want to use that as an election strategy, okay, sure. Politics is a dirty game, right? You say whatever it takes to get elected. But once you get elected, then you pivot to reality, right? You can't keep going with the nonsense. And that was a huge unforced error on Carney's part. He's talking about this in that video. You showed this rupture with the United States. But you certainly played a role in this rupture, Mark. Like, you have a huge role to play in this rupture. Clearly, like, obviously, say Donald Trump, if you want, like just to play devil's advocate, be fair all around. Yeah, certainly Donald Trump had a role to play in as well, but there's nothing we can do about that, right? Donald Trump is going to do what Donald Trump's going to do, and we can only respond to that because they are the big swinging dick. They're the big cheese right now, and basically, Trump served to Mark Carney, and Carney fumbled it. Carney didn't have to go elbows up. And I know that people are like, oh, what, you just wanted to bend over and take it? No.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize who holds the leverage, the power, and you have to act accordingly.
8
He didn't do
months
it.
of
He actively
8
had
months of
this up our sleeve, and we don't. We do not have an ace. Our ace up the sleeve is the United States. That's what our ace is.
8 months of traveling the world at our expense and trying to make deals have brought us $6 billion. 1.1 trillion. That is trillion with a T that we have already with the US that we just need to make better to try to deal with the tariffs as much as we can. Yet he's traveling the world doing nothing except promising money to Ukraine. That's basically all he's been doing, is promising her money to other countries. Here is a great comment that I agree with 100%. Guido Sidar is saying, Carney wants to bankrupt Canada so Brookfield can buy the assets. Carney's here to finish what Trudeau started, and that's how many times have I said this, that the whole point of destroying Canada's economy is in order to buy the assets or natural resources for pennies on the dollars. Because Brookfield and Mark Carney are good with oil and gas. They just bought a shit ton of it. A shit lot. Brookfield bought like for more than $1 billion worth of pipelines in the US over the past month alone. So they're very good with oil and gas. They love it. It makes money. At the end of the day, that's all they care about. But they can still get our economy cheaper by destroying it. So natural resources are going to get screwed. Stu, once again, Stu, thank you for the tip. Carney may be hoping the Supreme Court decision is against Trump, and then he can say that we played this right, bitches. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what? We talked about this before. We've mentioned this before, but you know what? It still doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, Trump can do whatever it takes to make our life more difficult out of spite. And you know that Trump is a spiteful guy. We all know this, right? Come on, sure. Let's be honest here. But I'm sure, you know for a fact that if that was true, if the Supreme Court actually removed the tariff saying it's unconstitutional, Mark Carney would say it's all his fault. It's all because of him, and probably that Doughboy Ford would come back saying that it was all because of his ads.
Obviously. There's that video, that commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was. I mean, thank you. Thank you, Doughboy. Thank you. All your fault.
And for sure, if the Supreme Court decided that would bail out Mark Carney, no doubt. But it's tough to put all your eggs in one basket. You know, even if it works out for Mark in this case, let's say they do decide in favor of getting rid of tariffs. You know, that isn't because of something great that Mark Carney did. He would have just gotten really fucking lucky. You know, he would have. It's basically like going in and putting all your money on red 23 on the roulette table, and you happen to hit it. I mean, it worked out, but that doesn't mean it was a smart thing to do.
Yeah, but in Carney's world, that's called investing.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Investing.
Right.
Playing the roulette is an investment.
Carney would say he knew it all along, actually. Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
He'd probably say it's all part of his plan. He's the smartest guy in the room. But it's, you know, I mean, look, you got to do, at the end of the day, if that's the only strategy, if that's your only strategy, is just hope prayer on the U.S. Supreme Court to hobble the U.S. president, that's not a great strategy. That's, you know, even if it works out in this case, that would have just worked out in spite of Carney, not because of Carney.
I like this one. DNL is saying
DNL says no Doug Ford caused a rupture. The rupture.
The rupture. Jesus, the rapture. He's the Antichrist. He caused the rapture.
Yeah, I thought it was the rapture. The rapture.
Carney apologized. Trump said he won't talk to us. That is what happened. No, the relationship was being destroyed way before Doug Ford ever got involved. Mark Carney literally got elected for saying that 10 years of bad liberal policies was all to blame on Trump. That's what happened. Like he's been using Trump as the scapegoat, as the monster, as the boogeyman ever since the election. So we're talking back in March. Back in, like, he was elected in April. So back February and March, he was already playing that card. So did Doughboy help? No. But it actually helped Mark Carney because he gets to blame somebody else. But we all know that he's been doing this for 10 months now.
Oh, yeah, sure. DNL says, why is that not a great strategy? Well, just because it's completely out of your, he's talking about relying on the U.S. Supreme Court because it's completely out of your control, right? It's not anything that Mark Carney's doing to just punt to a group to make a decision that you have no control over is not a great strategy, right? You have to be doing something. A great strategy would have been, in my opinion, doing whatever it took to sucking up to Donald Trump in the short term and getting the best possible deal, which is probably 10% tariffs, is probably the best you could hope for, and use that time that you buy yourself a couple years of having a decent trading relationship with the United States, and in that time invest a shit ton of money into pipelines, into oil and gas, into mineral extraction, build yourself into an energy superpower, and in 5 to 10 years, then you can tell America to go fuck themselves if that's what you want to do. But just a heart of prayer on the United States Supreme Court, a conservative United States Supreme Court to rein in a conservative United States president. I don't think that's a great strategy.
So, and not only that, but yes, Trump cannot veto the Supreme Court. So if the Supreme Court finds his tariffs to be unconstitutional, there's nothing much Trump cannot veto it, but it could be voted, it could go to the Senate, and then the Senate would vote on it, and the Senate is Republican. They have a 53 or 47 majority. So would it pass or not? I don't know, because there are some Republicans right now that's spoken against the tariffs, right? So would it pass or not? I don't think so. No, but all I'm saying is I don't think it would pass. I think that the Supreme Court would actually
there's senators that are against the tariffs.
Yeah, because we're only talking about 6. Like it's 6. So 53 to 47. So it's not a strong majority, and there's a bunch of them that spoke about it, that spoke against it. But the point is that it's not something you control. For all you know, the Supreme Court is not gonna find it unconstitutional, and then his tariffs are gonna stay. So that's not. I would not go all in on somebody else's hand. I would like to go all in on my hand. Well, I control.
The Supreme Court's a wild card. It may work out in your favor. It may not. But there's nothing you can do about it. You have no control over it. You have no say. And it didn't prevent him from doing anything on the side, right? Like if all you're doing is relying on the Supreme Court, in my opinion, that's not smart, because you're not doing everything that you can be doing, that you should be doing. And because at this stage, all he needs to be doing is whatever he can to salvage a trade relationship with the United States. That's it.
Agreed. Agreed.
You can't even worry about like getting the best deal. You just need a deal. A deal is what you need.
You have nothing to lose by securing a deal, or at least trying to secure a deal with the U.S., because if the tariffs are found to be unconstitutional, awesome. You probably will get an even better deal that you negotiated. And if it's not found to be unconstitutional, guess what? You have a fucking deal securing $1.1 to $1.2 trillion a year. It's a win-win solution, and sitting on your hand like Mark Carney's doing. Well, actually, he's not even sitting on his hand. He's doing everything possible to piss off Donald Trump. So, yeah, no, it's such a dumb move. It is not intelligent whatsoever. Before I forget, tonight's episode of The Political Orphans is sponsored by Gabble, the world's first live debate app on the market. You can choose to sit and watch, or if you have the balls, you can jump and debate others. I was on the app again today, and it was freaking hilarious because there's young people on there debating 22-year-old talking about life experience is fucking hilarious, by the way. And funny enough, two of the guys I debated at the end, they're like, hey man, by the way, I follow you on Instagram. Love your shit. I'm like, oh shit, that's actually funny. So if you want to see debates or you want to participate in debate, download Gabble. It's all about civil discourse, just like we do here. And you can check the description below for our affiliate link. And every time you download, it encourages the show because guess what? They're sponsors. So they give us money for the downloads. So just saying, if you want to support us, go check Gabble. But I'm telling you, if you want to try to debate others, you literally do it from your phone. It's 3-minute rounds. They have a bunch of subjects. Like today they were talking about, like, let's say, should tips be banned and instead just have a fixed salary? Of course, youngsters are like, yeah, we need fixed salary. Myself, I'm like, no, I like incentive. I'd much rather get $7 an hour knowing that I can make $400 or $500 a night, depending where you work, right? It's incentive. So, yeah, you guys should try it. I enjoy it. You guys should try it.
Yeah, that's it. So, what was the question? Should tips be banned?
Yeah. One of them, like, they have like 10 to 15 questions that you can jump in, and one of them was about vaccination that I absolutely love debating that. Like, should vaccination be mandatory for airplanes, for air travel? So they have a bunch. Like, they have politics, they have culture, they have a bunch of stuff. You'll find somebody you have an opinion on that you can defend. So Gabble. Great platform. Cool. Yep. Yeah. Let's jump into the second story. 40 minutes in, not bad at all. So here's something that is indicative of what's going on in Canada, because you kind of alluded to the Indian individuals a few months ago that started shooting guns in Muskoka. Well, you'll see how I'm gonna share this story first and foremost, and as you can see from the title, gun charges dropped against 2 Sikh activists. The Crown dropped all charges against 2 of the 3 Sikh activists arrested in September for allegedly having a loaded handgun in the car. I'm not even going to try to pronounce those names, but they're basically Gossel, Singh, and Singh. So they're definitely from, you know where they're from. They were charged in Whitby on September 19. They were charged with a dozen firearm offenses, including careless use and illegal possession of a prohibited handgun. They literally had a loaded gun in the car with them. Those people, one is here legal in Canada. That is, let me try to say his name, Inderjit Singh Gossel. He's from Brampton. The 2 others are from the States. And it turns out that they actually dropped all charges. So no problem. Charges are dropped. The guns were legal. The guns were loaded. Yet no consequences whatsoever. They're the 2 Singhs that are from the US. They can go back home. No problem. Don't worry about it. But the thing that they're keeping very hush-hush, they kind of allude to it here. 2 had been charged alongside men who replaced Najjar as Khalistani leader in Canada. So that's the part to pay attention to. So one of the 3 guys, the guy that you saw the picture of, is the Khalistani leader here in Canada, and he was caught with a loaded handgun, and there were 12 different charges for prohibited gun possession. Yet everything's being dropped. The 2 Singhs got dropped, and his, as per his lawyer, is gonna get dropped. And what his lawyer was saying, I just want to see, is this in this I just want to see, was it in this article? Is it the next one? I think it's in the next one. But basically, they're saying that it was somehow race related. The only reason they got arrested with a loaded gun is obviously because of racism. That's what the lawyer of the third guy is saying. It's absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely, absolutely insane. But we have 3 people involved with the Khalistani extremists. One is the leader of the Khalistani in Canada, arrested with loaded gun with 12 different charges for gun possession. 2 of them are dropped. 2 of them got all the charges dropped. And as per the lawyer of the third guy, the name of, where's his name again? His name is Injarit Singh Gosal, a prominent organizer for the band Sikhs for Justice. As per what his lawyer is saying, he will be let go as well. And one of the articles that I was looking at earlier, this was race related. The arrest was somehow racist. So how interesting, right? You're getting caught with an illegal loaded gun in your car, and somehow that was because of racism. Is it racist to stop somebody that's committing a crime that you're assuming is committing a crime and you're right? It's like saying, is it racist to say that black guys have big penises? Is that racist? Is that racist? Or is that acceptable racism?
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? It's basically, it's getting to the point now where if you're a person of color, you can commit whatever crime you want, because then you can just say it's racist. It's racist to arrest me. It's racist to arrest me. It's crazy. It's just, it's speaking of the Khalistani thing, that I don't know if you're aware of what's going on today. There was like a referendum or something, a Khalistani referendum back in India, and then like 30 people in across Canada. There were some stations that had like 30,000 people, Khalistanians, lining up to vote. And I'm like, why? Why are we expending resources and infrastructure to allow people to vote for a separatist referendum back home in India?
Gossel, the guy the guy that you saw the pictures on both articles, is actually the leader of the Khalistani here in Canada. He's responsible for organizing those 30,000 people to assist in that referendum. That is, if you dig enough, it is his doing. So that's the dude we're talking about. And I found the quote I was looking for earlier. But listen to this. Charges dropped November 21st, 2025. The Crown withdrew all charges against Jagdeep and Harman Singh, citing insufficient evidence for procedural issues, but they caught them with a loaded gun, so it's inefficient, right? And Gossel's charge remain active. He's out on bail and has a court date pending. His lawyer expects the case against him to weaken or drop soon, calling the arrest politically motivated. You're talking about a dude. I don't even know how that guy's in fucking Canada. How are we allowing the Khalistani leader in Canada? Like, what the fuck? How's that guy not being deported? Why is he here? This is insane. This is absolutely fucking insane. But like you said earlier, this is a tendency that we have now in Canada. You remember the Indian guys? You were talking about it earlier. The Indian guys that recorded themselves shooting guns in Muskoka and posted it on social media. That story that I just talked about, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should go check if there's been development. You know that there hasn't been any development in that story since September 3rd. That's more than 2 months ago. There's one guy that got arrested. It's the dude that recorded the whole thing and posted it on social media that had his license plate as part of one of the videos. So the 24-year-old man from Brampton, Ontario was arrested and charged with 2 counts of careless use of firearm. Police seized his firearm in possession and acquisition. So the guy owned those guns. He owned them legally. Singh is believed to be one of the primary individual in the videos. None of the 7 other guys were arrested, were charged with anything. That guy got 2 counts of careless use of a firearm. Are you fucking kidding me? You know that guy, if those guys were white, they'd be in fucking prison by now.
That's crazy.
And do you remember the other story I shared a couple of weeks ago about a guy by the name of Jesse Garlow? Do you remember that guy, the 40-year-old Mohawk man that was caught driving with a loaded, modified, illegal firearm and a flamethrower in his car? Even when he got caught, he had a crack pipe on his lap. And then Court Justice Brenda Green handed down a suspended sentence, no additional jail time, with a credit of 285 days pre-sentence custody, citing that Garlow's case as a shocking example of the detrimental impact of colonialism, intergenerational trauma, and the attempted cultural genocide through residential schools. So you got the leader of the Khalistani in Canada that's about to get all of the charges dropped for driving around with a loaded gun. You got a bunch of fucking idiots in Muskoka that are shooting guns illegally. They could have killed somebody because people live around there. No consequences whatsoever. And then you have this native guy by the name of Jesse Garlow, the whitest name in the history of white names after John Smith, and he's getting released because of colonialism, intergenerational trauma, and the attempted cultural genocide because of residential schools. This is fucking Canada for you. How fucking insane have we become?
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, you're basically rules and laws don't apply to you because of something bad that happened to someone 100 years ago or 50 years ago or whatever. Even if it was yesterday, it doesn't do with that person. You know what I mean? That, like, we're all responsible for our actions. Period. It doesn't really. I don't care about your fucking intergenerational trauma. Do we get to claim that? If we get a crime, trauma. There's trauma in the past. Everyone has fucking trauma somewhere.
No, you're too white. You're too white for it to matter, man.
Yeah, white people's trauma don't matter. Yeah, your trauma doesn't matter.
There's a couple more I wanted to cover if we can do it fast, just because we spoke about this before. But you heard of the gun buyback that's going on in Nova Scotia, right? That, like, they were testing it in Cape Breton.
Yeah.
So it turns out that the pilot is completed and they will go nationwide. Turns out that give me a number. How many guns do you think were surrendered, as part of that pilot? How many guns were given back, or literally, let's call it confiscated by the federal government? How many guns? Give me a number.
I don't know, 100?
Out of this lasted between 6 and 8 weeks long program. People surrendered up to 22 assault style firearms, which they don't say how many people brought that in, because I used to own more than one. Know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of guys that own 10, 20, 30 of those guns themselves. So 22 assault style firearm could literally be 4 guys showing up and giving back their firearms. Their plan was to get 200 guns. They got 10% of the guns, and they're still going through with that federally, so nationwide. And they're spending, what was it, over $1 billion for this? Insane. Absolutely. Let's not even talk about the fact that this is seizure. They're going after guns that were legally purchased by legal gun owners. So that's not even the part. Like, we can argue this one until I'm blue in the face, but 10% of their goals, they expected 200 guns, yet just for sake of argument, there's more than 85,000 valid individual firearm license in Nova Scotia. There's about 2.5 million in Canada. That tells you how people are tired of this fucking government. 10% of the guns they wanted to get.
How many did Can you repeat that? How many? Because you cut off a little bit there for me. How many did they get in total?
They got, it's reported between 20 and 22 guns. They were hoping 200. And in the province of Nova Scotia, there is 85,000 valid individual firearm licenses, and something like 25,000 of them have a restricted firearm license, which would have allowed them to buy assault, air quotes, style firearms legally. So 22 guns out of more than 25,000 people with a restricted license. That's how many guns they were able to get. Sure, it's just for Cape Breton, blah, 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 blah. But it's not like that province that is that massive. Let's be real here for a second. So it's absolutely insane how this is all bullshit. This is all fucking bullshit, and it's going to cost money of the taxpayers. And I hope that it goes 10% over Canada, that this is the trend, just so that people can voice their opinion, because that talks loudly. If they go Canada-wide and they're only able to get 10% of what they know of the firearms that are out there, that is a massive fuck you to the federal government, and I really hope it happens. Because I can tell you, I ain't giving my guns back. They can go fuck themselves. They're mine. Fuck you. I'm not giving them back. So I hope a lot of Canadians out there do the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And clearly, that's what Nova Scotia's proving,
it's a
right?
crazy program. It's not going to do anything. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Yeah, as Kenzie Kraken says, the billion is spent on bureaucracy. Yeah, it's just going to be extreme bureaucracy. It's not going to do anything effectively. But just it'll. I'm sure it's Mark Carney will be playing it up like it was this great of his government.
You know, man, it's the same thing as castrating yourself, hoping your neighbors stop raping.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
No,
not gonna fly, brother.
No. Here's I found this story, and I knew this one would actually probably piss you off. Although we've been talking about this, it just seems that you're quite interested in this story. So here's something that's, I only found this on National Post. They seem to be the only one talking about it, at least right now they are. So here's a story that the National Post is reporting. Untreated, how do you pronounce this? Untreated?
Oh wow.
No, it's not untreated. It's
untreated.
Land untreated. Yeah, untreated land. So untreated land in Quebec, New Brunswick, PEI, in Newfoundland could follow suit of the Cowichan decision in Richmond, BC. So remember we talked about the 8,000 square kilometers from Jean-Guy White Rabbit. So basically that dude wants literally half of Gatineau. Like they're talking about it somewhere in the article. So they're talking about Kamloops. We talked about Kamloops. So that's going on. They want 12,543 square kilometers around Kamloops. But now it's going other places in the east. So much of Gatineau, Quebec. They're literally, Jean-Guy is looking for 8,000 square kilometers around the Gatineau River. I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know that, but half of New Brunswick is also being gone after by a collective.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that either.
6 New Brunswick First Nation in 2021 collectively formed the Wallastoqui Nation,
50%
filing a
of New
claim. 50% of New Brunswick. But here's what. So naturally,
That's
such
crazy.
a massive claim encompasses hundreds of private industrial landowners. But here's the part where it's messed up. Last year, a decision by the New Brunswick Court of King's Bench seemed to dismiss the claim against private landowners in the claim area, the court declared that those owners were innocent in the matter and didn't owe any compensation to the Wallastoki just because they bought their house on disputed land. Nevertheless, the decision also ruled that the Wallastoki claim to Aboriginal title could go ahead. So even if they said that the owners don't have to pay anything, they're still allowing that group to go forward. So we're talking New Brunswick, we're talking Gatineau, we're talking Kamloops, BC. We're talking obviously about Richmond and supposedly that their claims in Newfoundland.
They want all of it.
Yep. PEI and Newfoundland are two other places.
The natural result of this is the natural result of spending 10 years, 20 years, or however long, telling everyone that we can that, oh, this isn't our land, this isn't our land, this is unceded land, this is this belongs to the Indigenous people. Well, yeah, okay. So then they're here to take it. They're here to collect. It's garbage.
Man. It's just insane. But that's the door you open, right? You showed people in Richmond that it was possible for them to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And now people are going to try, because what do they have to lose? Nothing. Nothing. I wouldn't be even surprised if the lawsuits, if them making those claims is somehow covered by Canadian taxpayers because they're natives. So probably that colonialism and generational racism.
We're probably paying for the lawsuits against us.
Oh, of course we are. Taxpayers are paying again for the lawsuit against them. It's conquered land, motherfuckers. It belongs to the conquered. To the conqueror. The conquered, they need to shut the hell up and accept that they're part of a new country. Sorry. That's how the world works. Not that fucking complicated to understand, but that's a reality.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? You want to put a pin in her?
Yep. The only thing I want to say, though, before we do, I was talking to Chris Barber today. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but his sentencing for Big Red is taking place on Wednesday. So Chris Barber is going to join us on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on the show to speak about the sentencing. And I'm also sitting with him at 6:30 to 7:30 to have a personal conversation with him on Woken to see why he did what he did and if he regrets doing what he did considering everything that has happened to him. But yeah, we're going to have him. I'm recording a personal podcast with him to get to know him a bit better. So you guys can watch live, obviously, right here. But if you want to join us on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. We'll talk about the sentencing. Hopefully he gets to keep Big Red because this is bullshit.
Yeah, I know that'll be a good watch. All right, guys, I'm going to pin it there for the next excellent show. Sort of laggy. Hopefully, I'm sure my internet will be sort of tomorrow, but we'll be back at her. Thank you for excellent comments here. Take guys, if you're new joining us, you can support. Please consider a member through YouTube for the low price of $2.99 per month. You can also support us by buying coffee, which you can see in the upper right corner. There's a QR code, and you can support us that way. Thanks again to Stu for giving us a couple tips there tonight. Other than that, folks, we will catch you tomorrow night, same time, same channel.
Peace.
Peace.